पता नहीं next Tuesday and Wednesday. So our clients are having 2 days holiday. 1st November, 2nd November. Okay. So the client, those guys are in a pretty holiday mood. Monday को भी छुट्टी लगा दिए. They are like long time, 5 days together. They'll go off. So like, so I'm like, okay, ठीक है. तो project भी थोड़ा chill में चलेगा फिर for 2-3 days. Okay, just give a minute. And we will go. Okay, team. So chalo, let's get started then for the day. Okay, so as part of today's session, first we will start with the Q&As. Okay, so yesterday we said okay, we will go through the queries, whatever you guys might have added. So let's start one by one walking through that, and then we will touch on some other points as well. Okay, so it will be in both the directions. Now let's see. First of all, let me open the attendance sheet. So we said yesterday 9 p.m. while you guys were registering, let's have the questions ready. And here is the yesterday sheet, 26. Okay, fine. Chalo then, let's get started. One by one, we'll just go. We will not, we'll keep the name as anonymous and then we'll go through it. Okay. Fine. So yes, some of you guys did not ask the questions, so the data is blank. Somebody was saying okay, good knowledge. Okay, things are good. Next. Okay, so first question. I'm unable to perform skill upgradation part as part of the habits. Okay. Okay. So I just have like already we know this thing. It's like for overall growth in wherever you are, your technical abilities has to grow. There is no other way than that. Okay, and forever. So it's not about current experience, lifelong. Basically your technical skill set should keep growing because there is always something more to know than whatever you guys are knowing right. Okay, and if due to some reason we have stopped our growth, so a lot of problems will start coming in your life. Saturation will come, further prospect will go, money, promotions, everything gets impacted. So dekho, guys, and let's be brutally honest. Okay, remove emotion from it. But if you are not growing, basically you don't really deserve next level, even success, money, and all those things. Let's keep it like that. Okay, so if you stop your learning, the world should basically will not respect you. They will not. Okay, and you think you keep yourself in that position, what kind of people will be appreciated? If it is your company, who will you appreciate? Not like just those guys who just occupy seats, right? You will more appreciate those people who are constantly learning, upgrading, doing something for themselves. Okay, matlab constant growth, evolving and all. So those guys will be appreciated. So you need to always remember ki if you want growth in life, success in life, promotions and everything in life, so technical skills have to be constantly upgraded. Okay, and the world works really like this. As long as you keep growing and you keep giving value, only till that time people will appreciate you. Okay, and as soon as you stop performing at work and all, people will start saying okay, now you are like no more. Okay, and that's how the real world is. It is pretty realistic. And so you need to break your illusion कि ठीक है यार, पिछले last 10 years you might have done great job, but if you are messing up in the present, so you don't deserve to be here. Okay, And I was in one of the discussion with my senior manager while I was also having a high experience. And at that time, the senior manager said, Ki, we were discussing about hikes and promotions, like how to give and all that. We were having some conversation. So in that, he told me this thing, ke, Tosif, when you evaluate somebody, ke, are they worthy for a good hike or a good package? Okay, he said, ki, don't look at ki, they are very big in the past. They might be top Khans, they might be Sachin Tendulkars, Virat Kohli of the world, A players might be there. But if in the present moment, if they are not contributing to the system, so you should not even propose their name for a promotion or a good hike. I will not entertain their names. That's it. So you need to break this illusion ki 5 years ago I was so extraordinary. 10 years ago, like I did so much great. All that matters is what are you doing right now? And you will be justified in the world accordingly. So if you're not able to learn whatever this question comes, technical skills and all, so yes, maybe at whatever stage you are in your life, somehow you have to make it a priority. And I would always suggest constantly keep learning something, taking some certifications, updating some courses, but like in constantly keep learning. At least put up a target. 3 months may at least one certification should happen about something, because there is so much to learn. Okay, there is so much to learn, so much to upgrade. You will definitely find things. You need to make time out, because if you don't update with time, the IT industry is so evolving कि very shortly you guys will become outdated. ठीक है, market किसी भी swing में जा सकता है. And the only thing which will help in long lasting survival is upgrading with trend. This is how it will work. So don't stick to one zone. Also be ready and flexible to learn more, grow more. ठीक है, so that's the first one. Okay. Now the second thing, okay, I want to know about any websites for project development in advanced Java and frameworks. Okay, so this is the second question. Basically, while you are working on projects, so I'm not aware whether single-handedly there are websites created where you can find all of these things. But like last time, somebody suggested this beldon.com. Okay, so there they said a lot of nice applications are there. Next, in my experience, I have worked with some websites like highscalability.com, where complex challenges about architectures and how systems evolve. So those kind of things are available. These are some of the things which I keep going regularly. But apart from that, it's like whenever we face any problem, we just go to Google, read a few links about it. There will be n number of blogs, Stack Overflow, and all that. We just read it, and that itself helps it out. Okay. And I think from wherever this question is coming, so if you're already as part of, I would suggest ki, so yeah, the website name is beldung.com, BAELDUNG, beldung.com. Second is you can refer as highscalability.com. So there, how systems evolve, what challenges are there, from mind will nice evolve with it. So these two websites are there. Apart from that, I would suggest ki you yourself should start thinking more, because you don't need basically any sites for doing that. Okay, the thing is ki you just need to look at the real world. What are the websites available? What are people using? What are the use cases? And start thinking how can you build it up in whatever technology you have. So technology is no bar. You say Python, you say Java, you say .NET or anything. So you should know functionality and pick any website, Facebook le lo, YouTube le lo, or anything banking application, whichever you use daily. Just try to ask questions. How can you code these things behind the screen? Under the hood coding kaise hoga? And you start doing that coding. This is how you will evolve, because everything is a real project itself. Okay, I'll paste the links later. Okay, or let me even paste this. Okay. So in the chat, I am pasting it. So there is this one thing, beldung.com, and I'll just Google high availability, high scalability. Wait a second, highscalability.com. Yeah. So these are the two websites which I used to go through. Okay, fine. Now next, moving on. Okay, third question. Now this is coming like I become impatient and lose peace during listing and started imagination and come with conclusion with wrong assumption. Okay, some कुछ तो typo हो गया. During listing, what is listing? Listening है क्या? So the question is not clear. Whoever has asked it yesterday, can you just write it in Zoom chat as well? The question is, I become impatient and lose peace during listing. Is it like listening? But listening to what? The question is not clear. And started imagination and come with conclusions with wrong assumptions. Okay. If whoever has asked that question, if you are right now also in the call, maybe in comments you can correct your question a bit, because a bit is not it's not very fully clear. But at least let me try to make some sense out of it. Okay. So I become impatient and lose peace during maybe listening and start imagination and come with a wrong conclusion. So it's like nothing but just a thought process pattern. It's getting confused here. Ki, dekho, one thing which is ultimately required for life success is patience. Okay. We have always been speaking about one thing which is consistency, right? So consistency ke alawa, there is one important thing which is patience. Because sometimes what will happen in life is, no matter how much hard you work, you will not get immediate results. This happens in your company, in your like lot of phases of your life, personal life, professional life, anytime. You're putting all your best shot. Let's say right now you're doing job hunting, you're putting everything, but things are not working out. It can happen. Okay. And so in such cases also, you cannot lose your patience. Okay, you need to be at peace and know it, as long as you're taking the right actions, results will come. Maybe it is getting delayed. So patience is a quality which needs to be developed. Okay. Abhi yahan pe whatever the guy is saying, I become impatient and lose peace. So for peace fixing, so it's all about your thoughts and mind itself. So my suggestion will be, for doing that, meditation is the ultimate solution. Okay, daily doing meditation is the ultimate solution for always staying at peace, composed and calm. Okay, so this is how it is going to work upon. And like Isha Kriya, what we are saying on a daily basis, right? So when we wake up in the morning, so like do it as often you can, because I did meditation for 1 year and I found there are big time differences in how I approach to any situation. Okay, matlab pehle I was pretty different than what I am right now, while even dealing with work and all. कि देखो अभी क्या होता है, no matter how problematic the situation gets at work, somewhere I'm at very peace inside. Okay, almost 95% of the cases, I'm at so much peace ki, okay, theek hai, something is going wrong. I go approach there peacefully and then start asking the right questions. Okay, what's going wrong? So why has it happened like this? Okay, what could be the solution? And then coming up with some solution and then peacefully trying to deal with it. Okay, but if you see me like maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, there was a pretty different personality. So, and even like there is a lot of research which keeps saying about this, when you do constant daily meditation, physical changes happen to your brain. Okay, the peace quotient grows, the stress level comes down, panicness and urgent like high paced thinking, that also really calms down. So you will be more joyful. So I think one of the question where it is coming is getting impatient and losing that peace situation. It's because the mind is not composed right now. So the ultimate solution is do multiple time meditation. One, we are doing it in the morning. I would suggest before sleep also 30 minutes. Be away from the phone and just meditation, mindfulness. You can do both. Mindfulness is some breathing patterns. So just keep doing that more regularly. Make that as a lifestyle. Over a period of time, you will find the mind will start calming down automatically against all whatever chaos happens. Okay? And the further question says getting in imagination and concluding with wrong assumptions. Dekho guys, it's a thought pattern basically, and the only solution is you need to get better in your decision making. Okay, as of what I know is, make decisions. If it is wrong, be okay and flexible to change decisions. Okay, even though, let's say, so that's the only way they could. Nobody can become right. So whatever guy is saying, wrong conclusions, wrong assumptions. The right approach should be, and this always, I keep applying this always throughout my IT experience and your personal life experience also. You would have to make decisions across the, as you're going through your life. Okay, try to make the best decision given the current circumstances. It might not be the right decision, but if you can think about that, make the decision based upon whatever you feel is right, and start taking actions in that direction. Okay, and once you start moving in that direction, don't really look back. हो गया, ले लिए, done. Now all the other possibilities cut down. Now you just move in the forward direction, and let's say after walking some steps you realize, okay, you made some mistake in decision. Be flexible enough to change your direction again. Okay, so but be careful, like be flexible, be ready to change decision if you are seeing you are really going on the wrong track. But ultimately is, over a period of time you will start becoming better in decision making. Okay, and then wrong assumptions and all of this thing, there is nothing to be more worried about. This, it is part of life, because nobody is perfect. We will make wrong assumptions, we will take wrong decisions, but you should be careful enough. You did the best decision that was possible. You should have that satisfaction at heart. And then while you're moving forward, if you make a mistake, be courageous enough to change it. Okay, so be courageous enough to change it, and if you can do that, it is fine enough. Okay, so meditation and changing of that. Okay, so fine, this is what I would like to say. It's like more of like mental and thought patterns which we have to change. Okay, next question. Somebody saying, does Wipro do strong background verification to get in? If anybody claiming some experience, and will it be good choice to go ahead? Okay, देखो guys, point is, different companies will have different level of verification processes and all that. And if I don't know particularly about Wipro, but yeah, it's a big service company, and there are these companies who either do it by themselves or they hire third parties who do the verification. And I know that there were cases he physically at times even a person goes to that office to verify. Such these kind of things also happen. So when companies outsource to some other company, so if you are really claiming some gap as experience, be ready ke verification is going to happen. Okay, is going to happen. You have to think about the worst case. It is going to happen. Just make sure that from wherever you have done it, those guys are ready in a position to support it. If it doesn't happen and all, well and good. But from your perspective, you should just try all possible options. Pakde gaye to pakde gaye, right? You will just be out. Otherwise you just keep trying, like whichever the other companies could be, you keep trying. Recently itself, I think last week somebody reached out to me on Messenger. Okay, and he said this thing. This was really interesting story. That guy was in Cognizant. Okay, he was in Cognizant. I got the job, he's working there. He worked there for 1.5 years. Okay, as this fake candidate claiming 2.5 years of experience, work for 1.5 years, and then Cognizant caught him after 1.5 years. And then the HR called, ki, we did your verification and now you're caught. 1.5 years later, this incident happened. Okay? And those HR just gave him two options. Either you yourself resign and move out. Otherwise, we would have to take like some serious actions against you based upon the company policy. Okay? And that person said, okay, I'm resigning and moving out. That's it, came outside. So even worst cases, if something happens, you don't get into fights and arguments. You just like, okay, fine, caught is caught. So if is there any possibility, and there was, you give an emotional story to them. My technology and all that is good. Give them an emotional story. If they buy it, good. Nahi ho raha hai, bahar aa jao, take a deep breath, exhale, and then try another place. Okay? Because the company is always going to be like, okay? And somebody is even putting in chat some guy was terminated. So if something like this happens, so it's okay, it's part of life, and don't take it as a setback, because these things can happen. Okay, I know that in one of my other friends company also, there was a person on contract. Now this is interesting. There was a person on contract. Behind the screen, I got this news. The company identified that he was a fake candidate, but they were still not removing him. They were not making him permanent because he's fake. but they were not removing him from the project because there was billing happening. Okay, so there are a lot of circumstances. So what I would say is grow your knowledge, apply for the companies, try to really justify it there. If you are caught, try to discuss with them, is there any possibility, and I had to do it, I had no other option. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, come out and then retry again somewhere else. Okay, so don't overthink about it and be ready. Okay, things can go wrong. What's wrong about it? Okay, things can go wrong. You might be fired, you might be terminated. Worst cases where those things can happen, and be ready for that. Okay, just come back. This was another example while I was in the Amirpet time. This was a classic example. There was one guy, he claimed gap and went inside. First company went, caught, removed. Then he's like, chalo, niche jata to chai pita to dusre jagah apply. And then again, he went for the second company, caught, removed. Third company, caught, removed. And then he's like, pakade kaise ja raha hu, right? And then fourth company again, caught, removed. And then he tried, and fifth company mein se he was not removed. So something clicked after that many attempts. Maybe he got that maturity, how he should talk, how he should behave at work, and something. And then that person further, he got to work in UK, usko abroad opportunities are there, and now he's very stable. It's been like now 10 years, and he's doing very great in his life. Okay? So things might happen. Again, you need to grow in your peace and patience. Just take care of things like that, and you will realize, be as hardworking as you can from your side, because that's the best thing that you can do. Okay, external circumstances are not in your control, and don't stop yourself. Okay, just go ahead, keep trying, and things will work out. So this is what I would say. Next question. Okay, how to build confidence? It is very difficult to me. I'm going everywhere. I have some thoughts, but sometimes losing my confidence. Okay, तो किसी को confidence बढ़ाना है. Okay, देखो guys. First of all, you need to start the mindset and belief system changing. Okay, those things. Okay, you need to somehow make yourself realize you are confident, you are capable, you have the potential, you have the abilities, you can solve your own problem. Nothing but the core first step is you need to accept that you are good. Okay, you have to develop that inner belief system that I am worthy, I am capable person. Because as long as you don't have that at your core, here I can do things, you will not get the confidence. So first step is self concept needs to be improved. Okay, what do you feel about yourself? Your confidence will be a reflection of, if you feel that you are good, automatically confidence will rise. But if you doubt yourself, I cannot do it, life is so tough, even if I try something, things will not work, automatically confidence will go down. So देखो, one thing what I would suggest is, the core thing is you need to improve what you really feel about yourself, what you believe about yourself. Layer one, you need to work on that. And guys, it happens based upon repetition again. Whatever these 8 affirmations that we listen in the morning, and that links I'm pasting, guys. Okay, there are people in the previous our batches also, like they said, instead of listening to songs for 30 minutes and 1 hour on YouTube, they are constantly listening only success affirmations for like 1 hour multiple times during the day. What happens is, these are success, very powerful affirmations. I am this, I am that, and that helps to build this self-confidence. You start feeling you exist, you can do something with your life. Doubt goes away. And the only thing to build confidence is you need to improve what you feel about yourself. So as long as you keep doubting yourself, you keep raising life is tough and all that, rest everything will always fall apart. Okay, because you don't have trust on your own self, and that's always going to be the problem. Okay, so my and all those other things which you said, okay, it is difficult for me whenever I'm going everywhere, thoughts are coming, and sometimes losing my confidence. It will all happen because you don't really realize what your inner strengths are, what your capabilities are, and you are keeping yourself in always a doubtful situation, and then your confidence will always break. Okay, so my like, if you want action items, what to be done, I would say, Success affirmations, go listen as maximum times as possible. Google it out, keep listening to it, and every time you listen something, I am powerful, I am bold, I am capable, I am talented, I am skilled. You need to feel it and believe it, and repeat it so much your brain changes. Whatever thoughts you keep listening and feeling, your brain behaves different accordingly. So consume it so much that your identity should become different. And if your core concept becomes different, everything becomes different. Okay? There was this nice example I read across it somewhere. अपना इंडिया वेस्ट इंडीज वाला जो मैच वॉच what was there, right? World Cup 1983 World Cup where India won. Okay, so I don't know further incidents were true or not, but yeah, somewhere I read across this incident. What they said is कि West Indies took it very personally. यार इस साला हरा दिया हम लोग को India, and like West Indies were दिग्गज at that time 1983 World Cup. You might have watched this recently movie भी आई थी, right? So West Indies came players like back to back. They were just winning the World Cups for ages. Okay, and India कहाँ से आके उनको हरा दिया. They took it personally, and looks like after that there was a tournament where they came to India, and then there was a series and matches arranged, and बहुत बुरी तरीके से they defeated India in lot of games. ODIs में इसमें उसमें टेस्ट में भी बहुत गंदा मारे वेस्ट इंडीज ने. like they took it as a mission to come and insult India कि कैसे how can you really defeat us, right? And they were doing like that, and everybody like अपने player were pretty scared and nervous at that time. And then what happened is the primary reason for that was they did not have that confidence कि they can face their bowlers and all that. धीरे धीरे अपना players का confidence started coming down, and because the confidence started coming down when they were on the field, they started getting out and stuff like that. Okay, so somewhere this incident was explained. He at that time Gavaskar and all were there in the game. So some this mindset rewiring किसी एक mentalist को बुलाए थे, a person like psychology wise and all that. He was called to really coach some of the Indian cricket players to clean up their mind and to develop that inner confidence. ओके, तो वो बंदे ने आके समथिंग बूस्टेड, काम डाउन द माइंड, री-ट्रिगर्ड की यू कैन डू इट, दे आर जस्ट प्लेयर्स, यू हैव डन इट सो मच टाइम्स, एंड देन री-रियलाइज्ड कि व्हाट यू हैव डन इन द पास्ट, व्हाट योर कैपेबिलिटीज. सो confidence was breaking, and because of that whatever they were doing, they were getting out, and it was a massive like disaster for us initially. But something happened, and then he just triggered a different belief system in the people, and it was with this thought process itself, new patterns. And what happened is after that conversation, when Gavaskar went out for batting, so he was able to play very smooth innings. He was playing it on the front foot, confidently facing, and he was like, "No, I will not give up." Okay, attitude changed, and because of that, things changed. And then कोई तो West Indies के some big जो players were there. They said कि okay, so from now on the Indian cricket is going to change because now the people are thinking right here. Okay, now they are believing in themselves, they are not scared of us, they are looking in the eyes and they are bold. So it's just confidence is what you believe about yourself, and if you don't believe about yourself, everything else will fall apart. And the step one to do it is listen to affirmations as maximum of times and start feeling proud about yourself. Start using this, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself. Tell it as many number of times during the day as possible. Feel it, emotionalize it, and eventually you will just start liking yourself, and confidence, boldness, everything will come as an end result. Okay, so you have to play with your mind a bit here. So that's how you do it. Okay, so whoever this guy is, I would suggest success affirmations multiple times during the day and keep repeating, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself. With feel emotion, things will work out. Okay, next. Okay, another question is coming. Okay, in which technology I should focus? Should it be front end or back end? Okay, now there is like both the technologies have a different kind of market curve. Okay, first thing, if you have less time as in you want to have a job quickly in maybe 3 months 4 months period mein, so front end is the right way to do it. Okay, so you learn front end maybe you have to get to the nice level of where angular, react, view, so these are the frameworks on top of front end. Okay, angular JS or angular, and then React.js and Vue.js. These are the framework, the way Spring and all that are frameworks. So you have to go to that level if you're learning front end. But for reaching to that, the basic needs to be covered, which is basic JavaScript needs to be covered. Then basic knowledge of HTML, CSS should be there. And then JavaScript should be a very strong knowledge. So JavaScript can be considered like a core Java of this world. Okay, so if you really master the JavaScript basics, then these frameworks understanding will become easy. And then spend time in frameworks. I personally have seen people in front of me, 2-3 months ke andar they become really good in their front end. It doesn't take much time. And market mein, yes, there is demand, and people are getting highly paid even on the front end side as well. So package wise, I have seen almost both of them are at the back end, front end, both of them are almost same layer. In fact, there are companies where front end guys are even paid more than the back end developers. So that is also there. I've seen those kind of numbers also. Okay. So if there is short time and quickly you want to get in, I think front end is the track. As soon as you get, go it. But now it depends upon interest of work. Okay. Okay. Front end may you will have logic and all, but back end is really where the actual brain is. Okay. So if you really enjoy programming and stuff like that, somewhere backend system is a very vast system. Okay, if you really enjoy that kind of work, thought process, building applications, designing, scaling and stuff like that, so wo sara kaam backend pe hota hai. Okay, and you need to really get it. So backend is the ocean of possibilities then. Matlab, you have to think about load, scale, concurrency, database, locking, and then synchronous communication, asynchronous communication, AWS or like Azure or whatever the system. So there is a lot of brain and complication there. And if you enjoy that kind of work, backend is the place. There is no limitless, and future में everything. Abhi backend say big data is all there, like now processing, data science, and everything is happening in the backend systems. Okay. So the scope of career will be very huge if you are on the backend side. Okay. But front end market demand will always be there, because in the end the customer interacts with front end, but that is different kind of work. Okay. So front end work will be, you need to really love HTML, CSS, styling, coloring, and all of that drama also. And like security and all that is again critical there as well. Load time, performance. So it will have its own thing. But if you really want more logical and like really brain squeezing kind of work, that happens on the backend side. So it depends upon choice of work. Also, money wise, both will give it nicely. A front end will be like quickly you can get it. Back end, you have to really put some efforts and train yourself nicely for multiple possibilities. Okay. So based upon these factors, you can do. And there is another thing, guys. I have seen many of the people as they grow in their career, they just walk like a full stack developer. Okay. So there are some projects where only one task comes, it is assigned to one person. He's supposed to take care of front end also, their back end also, their end to end build the feature and deploy it in production. So nothing but there are these kind of chances also where you have to maybe do both. And if you can really be that, become full stack, take the full graph and go in. So that will anyways happen in 5-6 years of your career if you want to do it. Okay. So those possibilities will always be there. And future में देखो क्या होता है, once you start walking in the architect line and technical lead line, so these people, they do not differentiate between front end and back end. Architect is an architect. He has to look at full system. He knows the complexity of UI. He knows the complexity of backend, and an end-to-end proper system has to be put in place. So these guys do not really focus on any one. So that means in a long run, you should know both. Okay, that improves your chances compared to those who are not using it. Okay, fine. So this is what is one thing. So based upon your circumstances, you can decide how to do what to do. So, but backend takes some time. Okay. Next. And there is another thing. Generally 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 kind of thing might also be there. Matlab 2 or 3 server person, 1 UI person. Team compositions could be like this also. Okay. 2 server, 3 server, and 1 UI. Like this also project works properly. So you can imagine ratio wise, job opening wise in the market, backend jobs will be comparatively more, front end comparatively resting. I mean, the ratio is like this. Fine. but still it's a big industry. Openings to hai market mein, and they are in demand also, front end guys. Okay. Okay, now next question. Is perfectionism a good thing? If yes, then how can we live in with good without any guilt if we missed something important someday? Okay, like how do you not have guilt if you miss something important someday? And how to be consistent if we miss something? Okay, so कोई आमिर खान का रिलेटिव है क्या यहाँ पे? Perfectionist बना दिए बेचारे को. He might never have called himself perfectionist. I don't know. Did he call like officially perfectionist? Did he call himself perfectionist in media? कुछ इंटरव्यू दिया था क्या? No, right? The world does it. वो बेचारे का कोई गलती नहीं. People are अरे he's perfectionist, सब अच्छा करता है. Unnecessary image, right? उसको कुछ लेना देना भी नहीं रहेगा. He's like अरे यार people are just telling. Now, okay, guys, I'll just draw a conclusion here. Okay, and this should be the mantra for entire life. Always prefer progress more than perfection. Don't never try to be perfect. Okay, you will lose a lot of time, mental peace if you chase for perfection. And in fact, you will not get results out of your life if you are waiting for being perfect. Okay, so my funda and what I have always been telling to other people also is always value progress more than perfection. Okay, let's say if you want to be perfect, it will need more time to prepare, mentally be ready, practice a lot, cover so many scenarios. Okay, like this can happen, that can happen, how to handle this, how to handle that. Perfection needs lot of practice. Okay, a lot of practice will take a lot of time, and you need to understand, no matter how much we practice, it will be brain exerting and all, there will always be a different use case which you might not have taken care. It's quite possible. Then what happens is you tried so much and still you missed out few things and you did not cover that. And then when that fails, automatically people get more demotivated. I put so much effort, tried so much things, and in the end I failed. And that really breaks internal confidence also of people. So that's the wrong approach of going through life. The better approach is value progress over perfection. So what is progress over perfection is you need to plan sufficient, immediately take actions on that. And you're not taking perfect actions, but at least whatever actions you take, you will learn something based upon real-time output. Perfection means your planning is all hypothetical. Oh, if this happens, then this. If that happens, you don't know really whether it will happen or not. And then after doing all that, when you try, you take, let's say, 1 week for doing something perfectly and then trying it. And if it fails, it really demotivates you. Progress mein वैसे it doesn't have that drama. Progress mein like, okay, you know that today you have 1 day. In this 1 day, you will try everything, whatever is required to plan, you will take immediate action. And then you will learn what worked, what did not work based upon real-time output. And then you will take that, and if there are mistakes, you will improve next day and you will take actions again. And that will not demotivate you. So because it's just 1 day at a time, you are not losing anything. So when you do progress model, okay, eventually you will become perfect. If you apply a progress model of living life, the future is every time you're focusing on progress, taking action, learn from your own mistakes and fix it immediately tomorrow, and then do it consistently. As an outcome, you will become perfect. So you're not trying to become perfect, but this system of regular daily progress and improvement will make you perfect automatically. But that's not the target, but that will be the end result anyways. But if you chase for being perfect, you will never be consistent. You will go through a lot of mental drama and you will not be able to stay consistent also. Okay, because that's a big problem. So change your approach of dealing with things. And that's where, guys, dekho, as part of our program that we are doing, career transformation, daily track yourself in Excel sheet. So I'm constantly daily reminding, even if you get zeros, not a problem. So we are not trying to be 100% in all. But what we are saying is basic system ko implement it in your life, daily tracking your progress. Even though if it is one pointer you did on that day, that is also very good. because at least you cared to come and say, I did one activity only today, you logged it, and now you realize out of 10 activities, I did only one. But at least you know that you did one. That is still improved. Then what will happen is tomorrow there is another chance. You will again try. And then you will be like, oh, now one day I want to do two. And you run it for 3 months. You will just become perfect in everything. Okay? So don't try to overset expectations to yourself and really push yourself. Everything I do, I have to be perfect in that, because it's not really required. You're adding too much pressure and raising bar unnecessary for yourself. Rather, switch the model, focus on hardcore progress, and every time you do some actions, learn from it, improve from it. So take actions, improve, take actions, improve. Continue it long enough, you will become perfect automatically, because improving human being will move towards perfection. Okay? And I think this is how they go. Guilt and all that will be reactions of you are trying to be perfect, and the bar you have set so high, you're jumping so much time to reach there. Nahi ho raha hai, so that is triggering negative emotions in you now. Or this is tough, that is tough, I'm not able to do it. If self-doubt and all that, if you will not do anything. So you will stop taking actions after a certain period of time. Okay? But if you are doing progress, you will never stop, because at least you know that chal rahi hai, gaadi to chal rahi. You don't have to stop, and you have a long life. Inshallah, everything, if all things goes fine, you have a long life. 70 years you will be alive. Kabhi na kabhi to theek ho jaoge, right? If not now, maybe in 6 months you will, like, छोटे से तो habits we are trying to install. 24 hours ही है. अगर 3 साल में भी 24 hours को if we cannot fix it, then it's very simple if you really notice that. Okay? So that's what I would say. Manage progress over perfection. Take actions, learn from mistakes, try to improve immediately next day. Don't try to overset expectations to yourself and hold your bar very, very high. Okay, this is another thing which I have personally concluded for my life. Okay, if my potential is this much, I will try to reach somewhere here. Nothing but just exceeding my potential. I will not try to target things which are here. Okay, because all of a sudden my potential will not just multiply itna bada. Okay, this is possible for me to achieve, and it is bigger than who I am right now. It is possible. I can grow my abilities, efforts, and I can reach here. But something which is way beyond, incrementally only I can go there. Because even if there is some hack by which I bounce and jump here, but I am mentally not prepared to deal with this. Now let me tell you, this is a real time incident. Now let's say if somebody comes and offers you a CEO position for a company. Right now you're trying to, let's say you're at a job working 3 years, 4 years. Somebody comes, says, we want to make you a CEO, salary de denge 5 crore, 10 crore salary. Money bhi milega, and like they're giving you the position. But do you think we are ready for dealing with that job? Okay, being honest, nahi hai. Okay, come on. Even I know ki in leading a 40-member team, how much complication is there and kitna mind shattering ho jata hai. It's not simple. It's like having a lot of complication. Okay, and the point is, leading a company, having so many people, driving the vision, there are so many complications in that. Nothing but we need to grow mentally and plannings and decision wise in order to deal with that kind of work pressure, complexity, problem solving. And it will not happen just by itself. It's like constantly we keep evolving in our thought patterns, actions, and maturity towards life. Then we become that great over a period of time where you know, yes, I can deal with it very nicely. Okay? So what is that happening? It's progress over trying to be perfect at something, and eventually you will be able to capably deal with the CEO work as well. Okay, so hope that really helps. Okay, so have it nicely. Guilt build ki to baat hi nahi hai. Unnecessary, you're creating problems for yourselves. Don't even go to that layer. Okay, fine. Next question. Okay, how to concentrate or how to stay focused, guys? We have, okay, I'm not sure whether as part of this season we discussed about this, but they go concentration, focus, enemy is distraction. Okay, so how do you stay more concentrated is if you sit at one place, you're not getting distracted at anything, and whatever task you are doing, you are 100% involved in that task. That is the state of concentration, and you're working with focus. So step by step, what you need to do is first eliminate anything that can distract you. So let's say you want to do some concentrated job, be it at work or preparation, learning, whatever. First, from your environment, identify what all distractions can be there, remove them completely. So keep your phone maybe in switch off mode or outside mode. Maybe while you're working in the room, lock the room, nobody can come inside. Okay. And just be on that work which you're doing. Say no to social media, no to websites, nothing, just working. Okay. So actively eliminate distractions. That's easy thing to do. You can do that. Now, second thing where the problem will come is mind and the body will also be lazy. And if you sit for 10 minutes, they will be like, chalo thoda rest karte. Let me relax, or let me just go here and there walk. So there you need to train your mind and the body ke nahi. That's what Pomodoro ka 25 minutes mein you should not move from your place. You need to hold that bar very high. While you're working in Pomodoro for 25 minutes, if you start that counter, you sit at one place, uske baad you should not drink even, like don't go to toilet, nothing, no talking to anybody. So discipline say you will actually start getting there. If you can, and it is with training only. You need to train your body to sit at one position. You need to train your mind to sit at one position and do some one work only. So initially maybe 10 minutes ke liye karo, then 15 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 25 minutes. So step by step, we have to train our body and the mind to sit at one place and do things, and by eliminating distraction. And slowly, guys, because unfortunately, because of the social media and all these short videos, reels and all, so they are training us everything time to switch the context. So you watch a 10-second video, then you switch, then you switch, then you switch, right? So shorts which are running, you watch it, switch, right? So reels, short, all these 10 seconds, 15-second formats. And if you spend, let's say, 15 minutes even on that, that 15 minutes is training for the mind to switch the context. And that is reverse of focus. So now you need to understand, one side, if you watch reels for 15 minutes, that means you trained your mind to keep changing context for 15 minutes, but you are not able to stay focused for 15 minutes at whatever work you're doing. Now, that means you are training yourself for more distraction, more or getting off focus, more switching the context. So that means every single day you train for distraction, you will become less concentrated, less focused. So your approach of life has to be changed. Okay, don't spend much time on reels. 5 minutes se zyada to dena bhi nahi hai, because you're mentally training yourself to keep changing the context. That means the brain cannot sit and watch one thing for a long time. And that's a very problem statement, because work needs focus. You might have to be in a zone for like 3 hours, 4 hours for working. But if the brain keeps switching context, you will not be able to solve problems. Okay? So first approach, remove distractions. Second approach, train your mind and the body to do one thing only. Don't go away from the place. Third thing is slowly and steadily, the social media context switching, avoid that. Try to stay stable with one thing, whatever that is. And then gradually you will start realizing the body and the mind will learn the new patterns, and then they will start staying at one place till the time you have the solutions. Okay. So this is how incrementally things will happen. Now this is very nice thing. Okay, they go a simple thing, right? If you have a pet, let's say dog or a cat at your home, right? If every day at the same time you give them some food, okay, and you tell them ki, okay, the food will be given only in this vessel and the vessel will be kept only there. So you repeatedly keep doing that to that dog or a cat. Okay, they will not even put mouth in some other vessel, and they will go and sit at that place only. Nothing but if you train, if an animal can be trained like that, human beings' mind and the body can also be trained like that. Initially, the dog might not go there and sit there, but when you do it repeatedly, it will come in this bowl only and that place only. It will learn. You need to train your mind and the body the same way. Okay, you want to go outside and be distracted, but no, 25 minutes, I'm not going to allow you to do that. So whether you want to do it or not, you will sit here only and you will try to do the work. And then slowly and steadily, the mind body starts accepting it. Okay, okay, let me do it. And then you will realize you will start becoming better with focus concentration. So it's an exercise. It needs evolution, but step by step, you can really grow your focus areas. There is this book I will suggest on this deep work. Okay, so there is the book Deep Work, where they really talk about how to do focused work for long times. And I just read it for maybe initial 2 3 chapters. I did not complete that book, but initially itself they were talking about working in that zone, eliminating distraction, getting too much focused, and spending long hours in doing. So I would recommend whoever this guy is to go through that book. Okay, okay. Moving on. Okay, next question is from somebody. Sometimes we compare ourselves with others and feel bad. Okay, what we have not they have. So sometimes we compare ourselves and then we realize, yo, those people are having so many good things and we are not having it. Okay, so how to ignore it and focus, okay, what we have good things. Okay, this is what is happening. Okay, this is what is happening. This is how the society is, and we need to start working towards improving this. Okay, we have already started taking some actions towards this. Immediately you're not feeling the advantage because right now the changes are already going on. The first thing is gratitude practice, where you focus on good things about your life. Okay, that's what it is. It will take some time, but once you make it a habit, you do it for 6 months, 1 year, you'll start feeling wow about your life. Arey, wow, I have so many good things. Okay, that will happen as a natural consequence. You stay consistent 1 year with a gratitude practice, you will start appreciating every single thing that you have. Okay, that is one. Now, the second thing you need to understand with regards to this comparison, he gets so much obsessed about your own growth. Okay, you don't get time to think about others. कि दूसरों के पास क्या है क्या नहीं है. Okay, you should not really get time to why you're bothered about thinking about those people, what they have, what not. Like I said, right, okay, if you use your 24 hours with a manner, you have to learn, you have to grow. There are some areas of improvements on you. I have to grow in that. I have to take up some courses for that. Be matlab so much occupied in your self growth, the rest of the world does not matter to you. And at least when it matters, you look at it from a kind perspective. Okay, I should grow and I should help people to grow, not like negatively, okay, oh, those people have this and then getting demotivated with that. So the right approach will be so much engaged in your own success, and with your success lifting the people around you. And then eventually you will not find time to look at the negative side. Why? Because they go right now, why this will happen is, if you realize you are not growing in your life, then negative thought process will trigger. So if you feel stuck in your life, the negative thought process will trigger. I am just here only, other people are growing, and that makes people insecure. What change karna? So if you constantly keep working on yourself on daily basis, be it improvement is even small, but you will not get this negative pattern, because you will know that I became better than who I was 1 month ago. And once you start growing in yourself, automatically you will start enjoying your own growth, and the world then disappears. Because you know that as long as you're moving up, you will constantly evolve. So keeping it simple, first, gratitude practice will start teaching you to appreciate your own life. Second is be so much focused in your growth because you have areas of improvement. So observe that, okay, what is it that you should work upon? How can you do that? And you have 24 hours. We are keeping ourselves so busy all throughout the day. Literally speaking, guys, I don't have time throughout my day. Honestly speaking, I don't have time for any crap. Okay? Day starts at 5:45 in the morning, listens to success affirmation at that time. 6 we connect, 6 to 7 we do our routine. After that, 7 we start with other activities like doing this gym workout, going in sun, listening to audiobooks. In that, abhi main cooking or cleaning bhi kar raha hu. So I stay busy with that. So because I am staying here alone, ठीक है, अभी बैंकॉक में लाइफ चल रही है, तो मैनेजिंग इट, सो रोज सुबह आई हैव टू स्वीप माय हाउस, आई हैव टू क्लीन वॉश माय यूटेंसिल्स, एंड उसके बाद फिर आई जस्ट गो डाउन इन द सनलाइट. Now this is really nice experience कि Earlier I was thinking in sunlight I should plug in my headphones. Okay, but I'm like subah while cooking, cleaning, and all of these activities and workout. So for 1 hour, anyways, I'm already listening my audio programs. So okay, so I started doing this change ki while I walk in the sun, I'm just walking alone without any headphone. So just walking, trying to just walk through that grass. So I'm removing the slipper, walking on the grass. So garden in niche, okay? And that is good for health. And one nice thing which I realized is when I'm not listening to anything, the mind is generating so much ideas. So 15 minutes I'm walking there and I'm getting so much ideas. 2 days I did it back to back as a measure, ki no headphones and only walking and thinking. And I got so many ideas to do so many things. And then started. So every time I walk for 15 minutes, come back and I'm like, whoa, chalo, ye sab karenge aaj. Okay. So that's really, really nice. And that's what it is. I think you need to give time to yourself and ideas will start generating by itself. ठीक है. सो वो होता है, फिर उसके बाद वापस आके फिर टेक अ शावर, हैव अ ब्रेकफास्ट, 10 बज जाता है, 10 से फिर 7 हो जाता है, ऑफिस देन एंड्स एट 7:15. उसके बाद देन आई हैव माय डिनर बिफोर 9 एंड उसके बीच में भी थोड़ा बहुत ये वो कुछ कर कोर्स ये वो कर लेता, ऑडियो बुक अगेन इन द नाइट आल्सो आई लिसन एंड देन फिर 9 to 10 एंड देन 10 के बाद आई हैव टू स्लीप बिकॉज टुमारो अगेन. सो आई डोंट हैव टाइम टू रियली look at what others are successful at because I'm so much focused कि I should become successful and my life I should use every single hour for growth. So I'm not giving anything else to anybody else to really ruin my life. So when you take that control on your life, you will not have time to really care about and compare with any other person because you'll be obsessed कि I should grow, my life should become better. And I guess that's the only way to live life. Okay, so focus on the right things. The opposites will automatically disappear. Okay, fine. Next question. Okay. Okay, next question. It's 3 questions together. How to apply key points from book after listening audio? Okay, what happens is feeling like missing the learnings. Okay, what to know how to apply key message from books in your lifestyle. Okay, so audio books make a learning how to take it. That's first question. Second, what checklist or key point you have while on client meetings, on project progress or technology discussions. Okay, and the third is what will be the key measurements while interviewing a solution architect for the project. Okay, थोड़े high level के questions आ रहे हैं guys. Okay, तो दिल थाम के बैठिए. ठीक है, one by one. Okay, first of all, audiobooks. How to grasp learning of audiobooks. ठीक है, देखो, I told this thing कि audiobooks में you will start finishing the books, but the learning which is coming from audiobooks will work only when you are constantly repeating it. Okay, one time listening will not really cause too much of improvement in your life if you are using audiobooks. Okay, so how I use audiobooks is to constantly keep injecting thoughts in the mind. So my approach is I will go through the same book n number of times in bits and pieces, in paragraph chapters, repeat, maybe 10 times, 15 times. And every month, one new book, rest of the times, old book, whichever book, okay, whichever book will solve my current life problem, I try to take that, go to whatever section I want, and then try to I'm using audiobooks to rewire my mind. Okay, that's it. Now, the thing is, if you are having some problems in your life right now, pick a book, even be it an audio book, which will give you ideas to solve your current life problems. And whenever you get across this idea, you need to immediately bookmark it or maybe then sit down, write it in a pen and a paper about that idea. In this idea, I want to implement it into my life. Okay? But otherwise, how we read audiobooks is we are rewiring our subconscious mind to trigger new thoughts, to upgrade our way of looking at the world. By that way, it is constantly working. But if you want to take some ideas and implement it in your life, you need to bookmark those, then sit down, maybe take a PDF, put a circle around it. I want to do this, or take a separate in OneNote, write down, okay, this is my action plan, this I want to do. So selectively pick the ideas, put it into a process where you apply that properly into your life, see the results and not. Okay. So this is how I use my audiobook. So I know ki uska learning I will not be able to memorize. So I keep going through it multiple times to rewire my mind, subconscious mind, by constantly feeding new thoughts. And next, whichever ideas I like, I just bookmark it. Okay, so this wali idea, let's experiment it. And maybe this I will even write it in maybe a notepad. Okay, in our daily OneNote and all, whenever we are doing somewhere kuch aaya, so I just log it. Arey, wow, this is really interesting. So what I have done is, in my OneNote I have created a separate tab called as ideas. Okay, and whatever is my life challenges, whenever I get some idea about it, now I just go ahead and write it there also. Okay, so maybe at least I have a backlog of ideas which I can visit on a monthly basis or wherever. Plus these book ideas also, you can log it and then time to time process this information. Okay, so this is how I do it. And I guess audiobook ka wahi hai guys, repetition, repetition, and injecting thoughts. And but if you really want to get more precise, so then soft copies, PDF versions will be helping. Okay, but that doesn't complete the book. So have a mix approach. If you really want to apply techniques, then go ahead, take the soft copies, in that bookmark whatever you want to do. But otherwise, audiobook will constantly keep rewiring yourself, and in your day-to-day activities, you will start seeing opportunities. Okay, the mind works differently when the thoughts are different in you. Okay, so even if you don't try to memorize something, the brain will evolve and you will look at the world different. Okay, that's first question. Now, second, okay, what checkpoint or key point you have while on client meetings on project progress? Okay, client meetings on project progress. Okay, and the second thing is technology discussion meetings. Okay. देखो, I have not created any checklist for this, but I have done it so many number of times. He automatically एक internally एक vibe आ जाता है कि what you should do in this, be it project progress related meeting or a discussion related meeting. Okay, देखो, the right way of working is always, before you start your project, you need to at a high level scope your project, what you guys want to do, and assign a time estimate to that project. Okay, so this is the project to be done, and for this project we want to do it in scope. So scope number one is, we will do these many number of functionalities. It can be 10 functionalities, and this much functionality will actually take this much time. You can talk about 2 months project or like 2.5 months. So right now, like last week we did some discussion in December ke second half tak we will be able to manage one project. So a small short module was starting. We said we did a team, the team did the planning till December second half it is going to go. So nothing but, before you really get busy with your projects, scope it clearly what you want to do and how much time it is going to take. The client meeting should always be, you take the clients towards this predefined conclusion. So what we all do is, first of all, we really scope the project, tell the timeline, put these discussions in an email with the clients. Okay, well, this is the plan. It is going to take us 3 months to finish this all project. Okay. Now the next thing, while you are progressing towards that, we have arranged bi-weekly calls with our clients. Okay, bi-weekly calls where we keep showcasing to them, are we on track to meet that commitment? Okay, or will it get delayed forward? So these kind of progress, okay, in the 2 weeks, what have we done? What are the challenges? So those kind of regular checkpoints we are putting in. So at any point of time, if we feel things are getting delayed, we already raised the alarm. Hey, we said December 2nd, but looks like it might go to January also, because so many dependencies came up. So project progress report to the client should always be like this. First, set the expectation by when and what will be done. Second, on a, depending upon the complexity of the project, you can have daily calls. Sometimes projects will be so burning, you need to have daily update calls with the client. This dependency, that dependency, that is the blocker. We need this solution. Daily calls might happen, or weekly calls might happen, or bi-weekly calls might happen. And in that, you have to keep communicating how you're progressing. What are the blockers? Who do you want to solve that blockers? And then if they are getting solved, well and good, and continue. So this is how, if they know whether we are on track or not on track, last moment surprises will not come while you're doing the client meetings. Always follow this approach and clients will be pretty happy. Okay, and they just want clear updates. That's it, guys. Okay, if they become unrealistic, how can you take that much time? You have to do it in like this. Then immediately you should say, okay, can we add one more resource here? Because with 3 developers, this is what we can do. We need 4 developers. You need to give a buy-in budget for one more guy. And if 4 people come, then we can give you like that. So have all those negotiations and make it practical. Don't make unpractical commitments to the client. That would be very bad. Okay. So analyze it, estimate it, and tell clearly and honestly, okay, what is going to happen first on a practical terms. And practical terms means Monday to Friday, 9 hours of work. That's the practical hours. Now, if the client says no, business is not okay with that, we need tighter timelines. So in that case, you should make the clients realize, okay, then the team is putting then more efforts. And this is exceptional case. You need to make them realize, okay, we are okay to put more efforts, but this is exceptional. This should not become a habit. So how we did is, yes, at times we have to put more efforts, but then again for next 1-2 months, things should be back to track. That is how at times more concentrated work will happen. Then project will get back to a normal state, proper working time, 7 baje, everybody's closing the day. All of a sudden a burning project comes, then people start stretching more. And by that way, up and down stability should keep happening in the project. Okay. So set the expectation. A lot of that negotiation needs to be done with the client, and they understand. Okay. So they are also human beings. People are not impractical. They understand. Okay. So they will do something to really solve. Fine. And technology discussion meetings. Okay, now this is really important. Whenever any technology or technical discussion is happening, first thing what I do is, or my team also practices, internally we do a lot of our own discussion. Okay, before discussing with seniors, we do our own brainstorming sessions, what to do, how to do, and what could be the use cases, what could be the possibilities. We really try to put a lot of thoughts on the table and then make our own concept in mind. Okay, so this is the right approach, but this could also be the approach. So we create 2-3 ideas. If we solve this, these are the pros, these are the cons. In some other approach, this is the pros, these are the cons. And then multiple people brainstorm and then try to define these things. Okay, and nothing is going to be like perfect, which covers everything. It is always like, if we choose this, these are pros and cons. Let's make a decision whether we are okay to do that in project. If you choose something else, these are the pros, these are the cons. Are we okay with that? Okay, and anything which risks the thing, matlab safety, security, and all that. Anything which is risky for the project, you yourself should say no. We are not going to design it like that, because here the features will be impacted and things like that. Okay, so make practical decisions about designs. Have 1-2 things ready, and always, when you are going to present to the clients or senior architects any of these ideas, go with something concrete. Unke samne jaake don't start just showing the problems to them, because they will not be solving your problem. They'll be like, okay, you come with solutions. Give us something to really work towards. 2-3 ideas are coming. Then they will try to tweak or improve or suggest something on the work which you have done. So always go with solutions to them, and then they will further refine the solution and give you the right guidance. And this is how you always should approach your work as well. So first you do your hard work, try to draw conclusions, and then reach out. Okay, this is the problem. We are trying to solve it like this. Now, is it fine, or are there any gaps? Which one should we choose? And that's how you take it through for all technical decisions. Another thing, try to put some diagrams into picture, like flow diagrams and Word documents in Jira, covering up some theoretical statements. So don't keep your design discussion just verbal. Put some diagrams, put some theoretical descriptions, have some documentations or lucid chart or Confluence updates, whatever, but have things ready and present that. Don't talk in front of people, show it to them and then explain it. Then only they understand. Otherwise, they might misunderstand whatever technical conversation is also happening. Something should be there to see. That's how you guys do it. Okay? Fine. Chalo, ek last one. Okay. What will be the key measurement while interviewing a solution architect for the project? Okay. देखो, how I do it, and I've seen even people doing that. यहाँ पे देखो, एक क्या होता है, you need to give him interview. क्या है, it's like you just need to put the ball in his court and try to see to what level of depth can he go in his project or in his past life. Okay, so there is nothing like over a period of time. I have seen so many situations in 12 years, so एक sense आ जाता है. So right now how we do it is, we just try to see, okay, so If solution architect, so I've taken solution architect kind of interview. So in that, what, okay, database level pay, tell me what all complexities have you dealt with database? And we don't have to know any answer for that. Based upon his maturity, his exposure, he goes to the database complexities. And we just try to put more things. But if this happens, then what will happen? If that happens, then what will happen? So you did not face this kind of problem, kya? And then how will you do this? So based upon that person, how much he understands that part, he gets into that depth. And then we try to just scratch around it to really know whether he knows what he's talking or not. So there are certain areas. One is you touch him on the database load, performance. If more data is there in the database, how will your queries behave? How do you analyze your query? How do you optimize your query? How do you deal with partitions? How do you deal with database locking scenarios? मतलब वहाँ पे फिर खोल देना है database. Then you will know कि is he good or not in that. ठीक है? Next, you pick up about asynchronous processing. Okay, so that is another area where the architect can be checked. Asynchronous processing, okay, how do you do it? What kind of use cases there? What could be the problems coming in that approach? Okay. Next area comes like security related. But tell us everything about security, how your full end-to-end application you're designing in a secured manner. That is one area to be dealt with. Next area is high concurrency and scale. Like tell us in your application how much of load you were dealing per second, what was the concurrent rate, and how was your DB performance, machine performance in production. So with these kind of questions, we know that does he really know what he's doing at this high level? Then we get into infrastructure. Tell us what are the loopholes. So in the past project, you did this infrastructure. Now you tell us what are the good things in that, what are the bad things in that. And if he says everything is good, like it cannot be. There has to be some problems. No matter how great systems are, there will always be like, we did that wrong. We should have done it like this. It will always be there. So you touch these areas: scale, database, okay, concurrency, security, synchronous or synchronous processing, coding practices, working with the team together. So these are multiple areas which will be there for every project, and you just have to throw the ball in his court. Right? Tell us what is the complexity that you dealt with here. And then he keeps digging, and automatically you get out whether he really knows something or is he just high level. So बातें करने में ही फिर वो आ जाएगा. So you also have to put these categories, put it in their code, let them dig it, and now you try to see whether they can really get it or not. Because this is how interviews go on. Okay. अगर बंदे को पता ही नहीं है, only high level है, तो फिर you will know that, and then comes confidence and all those other factors. Fine. So this is with regards to this. Next, somebody says, have a nice day. If somebody says, okay, daily by daily, I am improving. Okay. Thank you. I am feeling better day by day. So somebody is really experiencing very much growth in the system. Good to see that. Okay. Somebody else is saying, I am really satisfied with the way the sessions are going. So thanks for saying that. Somebody is like, thanks for everything. Very good. Somebody is saying, please remember us in your prayers. Public emotional ho gayi hai comment. Okay, and somebody is like, okay, so this is what it is. I think we have covered all the questions which were asked. The recording is already available, but again guys, everything needs some time. Okay, everything needs some time. Know that we all can evolve. It is one day at a time. So don't doubt yourself, don't pull yourself back. Improve one day, daily, keep becoming better in who you are. Eventually you all will succeed, and that's what, stick with us for 3 months, morning, evening, every time. We will start brainwashing ourselves, thinking different, believing different, and changes will happen. Okay, chalo, so fine, let me share you the attendance link. Okay, and tomorrow morning 6 a.m. then we will be connecting back again. So 1 second. So yes, hope that helps. You guys go through this recording if required. You make some notes and you process further on top of this. Okay, whatever we discussed. Fine. This is my attendance sheet. Pasting it in the chat. Code for today is 5656. Okay. And one thing which I realized is that the more experience you get out of your life, decision making automatically becomes easy. So there are few things which you have to pass through time. You might be prepared, everything, but once you go through ups and downs, then you really get that sense what you should do and what not. Okay, so that's what you have to do. Things you have to face them. You have to. It will be challenging, but dheere dheere things will go. That's where patience. Okay, so be prepared, but be patient. Keep moving on. Fine, team. Chalo, mark your attendance. And even if there are some questions, you can put it tomorrow also. We have to touch 2 3 things. Tomorrow is the last day of the batch, so we will tomorrow look at the full fledged even like full attendance भी देखेंगे, week 4 वाला भी देखेंगे, then accordingly we'll have some certificates. Next further we will talk about how we are going to operate in the time after that. So guys, don't put a full stop to this. Okay, don't put a full stop. Keep it in mind, lifelong change we need to have, so the rhythm will continue. And Saturday onwards we will meet up for weekly catch-ups. I am already preparing something different for weekly catch-ups, or maybe more better way of organized something. Okay, let's see, we'll reach that. But let's make it a mission key. We want to improve in life, and we have to live a better lifestyle. That's it. So mindset wise, approach wise, attitude wise, everything. Fine. Okay, and yes, once you are done with your attendance, yeah, we'll be closing the day. Chalo. Thank you, everybody, and have a nice